Welcome back to another mini mock to help you prepare for your U.S. naturalization interview. Before we start, we want to congratulate one of our applicants who failed the first interview but was able to pass the test and get her U.S. citizenship after taking our live mock interview. We are so happy for her. If you need help and want to schedule your own live mock interview, check out the link in our description. Alright, so in this video, I will test your knowledge of the 100 civics questions, your English reading and writing ability, and I will also pick a few questions from the N400 application to ask you. If you need more help, make sure to watch the second half of the video, where I will go over the answers and give you some tips. Are you ready to start? Let's begin with the civics test. I will ask you 10 questions. You need to get at least 6 correct to pass. Okay, first question. Name your U.S. representative. Next, there were 13 original states. Name 3. What is one promise you make when you become a United States citizen? What is the rule of law? When is the last day you can send in federal income tax forms? When do we celebrate Independence Day? What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution? Name one state that borders Canada. Before he was president, Eisenhower was a general. What war was he in? What stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful? All right, now let's do the reading and writing test. You need to get 1 reading sentence correct and 1 writing sentence correct. Okay, please read the sentence on the screen for me, please. Now I'm going to read a sentence and I need you to write it down for me, please. Mexico is to the south of the U.S. Okay, now can you read the sentence on the screen for me? Now please write this sentence. Thanksgiving is in November. Okay, read this sentence for me, please. And here's your last English writing sentence. Lincoln was the president during the Civil War. All right, now let's go over the N400 application. Do you have any questions before we start? Okay. Do you know why you're here today? Why do you want to become a U.S. citizen? Can you tell me your full legal name, please? Do you have any aliases? Would you like to legally change your name? Do you have a social? When did you become a lawful permanent resident? What is the best number to reach you? Can you confirm your physical address? Is this also your mailing address? What's your current marital status? How many times have you been married? How about your spouse? Do you believe in religious freedom? Did you ever recruit, enlist, conscript, or use any person under 15 years of age to serve in or help an armed force or group? What does enlist mean? Did you ever use any person under 15 years of age to do anything that helped or supported people in combat? Have you ever been arrested, cited, or detained by any law enforcement officer, including any immigration official or any official of the U.S. Armed Forces, for any reason? Have you ever failed to support your dependents or to pay alimony? Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States? Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States? If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States? Do you know what bear arms mean? Okay, this concludes our interview. Do you have any questions for me? Now let's go over the answers and some tips. Okay, first question. Name your U.S. representative. The answer depends on where you live, and you can enter your zip code in the link in the description to find out. Please note that it is the U.S. representative at the time of your interview. Additionally, it is the zip code of your current physical address, not where you're having the interview. If it comes back with more than one U.S. representative, then you'll need to enter your full address to find the right one. Next, there were 13 original states. Name 3. The 3 easy ones all start with new. So New Hampshire, New York, and New Jersey. Other possible answers are Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. What is one promise you make when you become a United States citizen? You promise to be loyal to the United States. Or you can say, give up loyalty to other countries, defend the Constitution and laws of the United States, obey the laws of the United States, serve in the U.S. military if needed, serve, which means to do important work for the nation if needed. What is the rule of law? Everyone must follow the law. Or you can say, leaders must obey the law. The government must obey the law. Or, no one is above the law. When is the last day you can send in federal income tax forms? The answer is April 15th, even though it has been extended for the last 2 years due to the pandemic. When do we celebrate Independence Day? July 4th or the 4th of July. What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution? The Bill of Rights. Name one state that borders Canada. The easiest answer is New York. You can also say Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Minnesota, North Dakota, Montana, Idaho, Washington, or Alaska. Before he was president, Eisenhower was a general. What war was he in? That is World War II. What stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful? You can either say separation of powers or checks and balances. All right, now let's do the reading and writing test. You need to get one reading sentence correct and one writing sentence correct. Okay, please read the sentence on the screen for me, please. What country is to the south of the U.S.? Now I'm going to read a sentence and I need you to write it down for me, please. Mexico is to the south of the U.S. Okay, now can you read the sentence on the screen for me? When is Thanksgiving? Now please write this sentence. Thanksgiving is in November. Okay, read this sentence for me, please. Who was Abraham Lincoln? And here's your last English writing sentence. Lincoln was the president during the Civil War. All right, now let's go over the N400 application. Do you have any questions before we start? This is a good time to let the officer know if you have any changes to your answers or mistakes you've made on the application. Okay, do you know why you're here today? I am here for my U.S. citizenship interview. Why do you want to become a U.S. citizen? You can simply say, I believe in the form of government of the United States, and I would like to vote. Can you tell me your full legal name, please? Your current legal name is usually the name that's on your green card. However, if you got married after you got your green card, then your name may be different. Do you have any aliases? Aliases are just different names you use. For example, if your legal name is Jason and people call you Jay, you need to mention that. Would you like to legally change your name? You can legally change your name for free when you apply for citizenship. And that will be the name on your certificate of naturalization. However, depending on the office, some offices will take a bit longer to schedule the oath ceremony if you have a name change. So make sure to check with the officer during the interview. Do you have a social? Social means social security number. If you have one, provide the number to the officer. When did you become a lawful permanent resident? This should be the residence since date on your green card. The date should be the same on your conditional green card and permanent green card. What is the best number to reach you? The officer is asking for your phone number in case they have to call you to reschedule an appointment. Remember, USCIS will not ask for personal information, such as your social security number, over the phone. Can you confirm your physical address? This should be the address of where you are currently living. If you're applying through marriage, both you and your spouse need to have the same physical address. Is this also your mailing address? Your mailing address is where you receive your mail. Make sure it's accurate because that's where you will receive the USCIS notices. What's your current marital status? The officer is asking if you are single, married, divorced, or widowed. If you're married, divorced, or widowed, make sure to bring your original marriage certificates, divorce decrees, and death certificates. How many times have you been married? This includes your current marriage. How about your spouse? The officer is asking if your spouse has any previous marriages. Do you believe in religious freedom? It is important to pay attention to the officer. This is the opposite of the question on your N400 application, Part 12, Question 14F. There it asks, were you ever involved in not letting someone practice his or her religion? So the easiest way to answer this question is, I believe in religious freedom and always let others practice his or her religion. Did you ever recruit, enlist, conscript, or use any person under 15 years of age to serve in or help an armed force or group? That should be no. What does enlist mean? Enlist means to sign up, usually in an armed force. Did you ever use any person under 15 years of age to do anything that helped or supported people in combat? That should be no. Have you ever been arrested, cited, or detained by any law enforcement officer, including any immigration official or any official of the U.S. Armed Forces, for any reason? If you have ever had a traffic ticket, the answer should be yes. A lot of applicants might answer this question incorrectly while filling out the form, and that's perfectly fine. Just let the officer know during the interview and bring supporting documents. Usually traffic tickets will not prevent you from getting your citizenship, so there's no reason to hide it. I went into more detail in this video if you need additional information. Have you ever failed to support your dependents or to pay alimony? If you are divorced and have to pay child support or alimony, make sure the payments are up to date and bring proof of payments. Not paying child support or alimony is one of the reasons your application could get denied. Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States? Yes. Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States? This should be yes. If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States? This should be yes as well. Some of you might want to say no to this question because of your religious beliefs. You can say no to bear arms. However, there's a bit of prep work you need to do before the interview. What you need is a waiver to explain your religious belief prevents you from bearing arms. You can get a letter from a secular organization, such as the Center on Conscience and War, to attest that your beliefs are sincere, meaningful, and deeply held. We will put a link in the video description. We would not recommend you showing up to the interview without a very well-worded support letter from such an organization, since most immigration officers are not too familiar with this or the concept of the modified oath. Also, remember, you will have to take a modified oath during the ceremony if you said no to this question. Do you know what bear arms mean? Bear arms means to carry or use a weapon. Okay, this concludes our interview. Do you have any questions for me? Here you can ask the officer questions such as, when will the oath ceremony be? Or if you can bring guests to the oath ceremony, etc. All right, I hope this video helped you. Leave me a comment and let me know if you like this format. I'll see you next time. Bye.